All right, sit at home and let the wrong people get elected. That's what happened when you sit on your ass. Well, the other day, Gary Chambers posted this about a Baton Rouge, Louisiana restaurant being targeted by Denise Amoroso, the District 8 City Councilwoman in Baton Rouge, allegedly working with residents to shut down Boil Roux, a black-owned restaurant. Check this out.
Now, for all the people who like to brunch but don't like to vote, let me show you how people are actively working to shut down what you enjoy because people like you don't vote.
I'm looking to get Maurice Walker shut down off of a code violation.
This is Denise Amoroso. She's a city councilwoman here in Baton Rouge who held a community meeting after this group of people lost in court trying to shut down this black business. They are now going to try to weaponize the government to shut down this black business, spearheaded by her using a parish attorney. Let me show you.
We've communicated that to VRPD to tell them to enforce any laws, whether it's parking, noise, murder, whatever it may be, okay? They have absolutely the right to go ahead and enforce the laws at that time, at that place. I don't think they honestly care, okay? And they're not doing their job. And I can't force them to do their job. Right. The only person that can force the police to do their job is the mayor president through Murphy Hall. And we've all seen what that has been. And I'm just being honest, and I'm just airing our dirty laundry out of the city.
This is Paulo Messina. He's the man who's talking in the video on the phone with the city councilwoman who's at the meeting, and he's a parish attorney for the city of Baton Rouge. He's trash talking the black mayor, trash talking the black chief of police, saying that the police department ain't going to do their job, and he's saying what he is going to do with his power as a parish attorney to help the city council member shut this black business down even after they already lost in court and had it thrown out because they aren't making violations, they're just annoying their neighbors.
We will build the case brick by brick. First one is to get the board to respond. If the board doesn't respond in the way that I want them to, I have another step that I can take. But assuming that the board does revoke them or suspend them until they come into compliance, then what will happen is I will take that order from the board, I will forward it to VRPD and tell them they are now required to do that. If they don't do that, I have a couple of other things, options at my disposal. One is to bring the sheriff involved, okay, to bring the sheriff in. Second is I will have the ABC agents go out there and shut them down, okay? Third thing is, I can't really tell you what the third thing is, but it's pretty significant about what we would be doing, and it would not be pretty.
So let me break it down for the people who don't vote. So Denise, the city councilwoman, called the lawyer, Paulo, on the phone with the people in the room, and they came up with a strategy to shut down your ability to go to Boil Roux and have brunch on Sunday. And for people who don't vote and don't pay attention to elections, this is how the government impacts your life and the quality of your life just because you want to go into a community and enjoy Sunday brunch. It is that deep, that serious. And there's a meeting on December the 7th at the ABC board here in Baton Rouge where you can come and let Denise see you and let her know that you don't take too kindly to her having a meeting with Paulo and people in the community trying to stop black people from just enjoying a restaurant in the city of Baton Rouge. Y'all go vote here because it does impact your life.
Well, the owner of Boil Roux, Maurice Walker, and advocate Eugene Collins, who exposed this alleged plot, join us right now. Glad to have you. First off, we reached out to Denise Amoroso for comment, but she did not respond to our email. Maurice, what the hell y'all doing to these people?
Man, we just trying to sell good food in the city of Baton Rouge, man. We're just trying to, make a honest living. That's it. That's all we're doing.
When did all of this start? And was there something that started this?
So, Mr. Martin, when we first encountered this issue, Mr. Walker called me about I would say 3 years ago at this point, and said that there was some type of recording device that was pointed at their restaurant. At that time, I came out. I brought a private investigator that I sometimes work with to look at the device to tell me what it is. And this device was pointed directly at the restaurant. So the complaints that we believed at that point that were being lodged were coming from this device that we believe has some sort of amplifier in it. Let's just be clear, Mr. Martin. They don't want this business on this side of town. This is a major corridor in a majority white district, and they have done things time and time again to try to push this restaurant out of this district. And that's something that, as long as Mr. Walker, and I know he's willing to fight, we're going to continue to push against this.
So, Maurice, how long have y'all been there?
We've been here 9 years, going on 10 years. We'll make 10 years February. Actually, Super Bowl Sunday is when we opened up 9 years ago.
And y'all haven't. It's not like y'all had code violations and people. You ain't had shootings, folks coming out there, fights breaking out.
None of that.
None of that stuff.
None of that.
But so are they angry that? And what's your clientele? Is it largely African American? Is it mixed?
It's largely African Americans. At times it is mixed. Again, I mean, it shouldn't go this far, man. Mr. Roland, it should not go this far at all.
Well, this sounds very much like what the Turkey Leg Hut went through in Houston. Exact same thing. They're on the Alameda corridor. The neighbors there, they were sitting here conspiring. They took them to court. They complained about the smoke. They complained about the traffic. They complained about the music. It was one thing after another. And it wasn't until they got their hands on an email chain, which they shared with us from the neighbors, where they literally were talking about plotting to catch them to do something wrong to get them taken out. I mean, but here's the problem here. Here you have a city official, and this guy who was on the recording, he's a city attorney, right?
Correct, sir.
So a city attorney who's being paid by taxpayers like you is sitting there talking about how they are plotting to take you out of business.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Martin, on top of that, not only was he plotting to take Boil Roux out of business, but he's down talking our mayor and our police chief. And our police chief has been one of the most progressive chiefs in this country. So that's a stab at some of the progressive things that we've seen happen within BRPD. Now, we know we got some things to fix there, but that's a stab at that system as well. So he was taking multiple stabs at various systems, as well as continuing to pile on top of this restaurant. In addition to that, you asked about code violations, Mr. Martin. One thing they're going to cite is a code violation for not having a permit on Cinco de Mayo that this council person actually approved very late in the day, to the point that Mr. Walker did not have time to pick up that permit. Then that same council person allegedly sent the ABC board agents that night to the restaurant, knowing that Mr. Walker didn't have time to retrieve that permit to have it on site. They've just tried trick after trick after trick to seemingly target this business. And it's not only a great restaurant, this has been a good community partner. Last year, when apartment complex burned down, this restaurant brought those families into this restaurant and gave them toys, gave them gifts, made sure that they had apartments. In addition, when we were really being ran over with murders here locally, this restaurant actually pulled together multiple groups to do a toy drive together, multi-platinum recording artists together who were having some beef amongst each other. They pulled those groups together and actually got them to squash their beef. So they've not only been a good restaurant, they've been a great community partner to the African-American community here in Baton Rouge.
How has the community responded since this went public?
So, initially when we released the initial video of the Black Lives Matter mural, which really, let's get down to the crux of it. That's where this restaurant begun to have problems when they painted a Black Lives Matter mural in their parking lot. And that's when the neighbors started to have complaints. That's when this council person actually came to this restaurant and asked the ownership group at that time exactly what was they trying to hoping to accomplish by putting this mural in the parking lot. And she thought that mural was divisive and that it would attract negative things and different groups on opposing sides to have negative reactions to it, right? That's where this issue started, right there with that mural being painted in this parking lot. And that was posted to a local community platform here, Getaways. And that's where the issue actually originated from, this restaurant painting a Black Lives Matter mural in their parking lot.
Questions for our panel. Reese, you're first.
Yes. First of all, I want to say your establishment sounds wonderful. Can you talk a little bit about, I saw some coverage about there are white establishments, or I guess you say non-Black establishments in the vicinity that also have noise or music and other things. Can you talk about the discrepancy between how those businesses have been treated as opposed to yours?
Well, roughly, we could say I have a restaurant that is less than half a mile away from me, also that does live music every Friday and Saturday. And I never hear any complaints from the neighbors that are right there. Also, we're all in the same community. So, again, we are just being targeted for what we are doing was nothing different that any other restaurant in the area is doing. And again, I still don't understand this to this day. Why?
We know why. Y'all Black. Lauren.
Gentlemen, do you think that what is targeting, do you think it's illegal, and have you sought legal advice? I mean, it feels like something might be illegal there, but I don't know. Have you checked that?
So at this point, we brought on a civil rights attorney, Ronald Haley, to actually look at the legal aspects here, right? Because not only are we looking at what the council person did, but we also got to think about the alcohol beverage board as well, the ABC board here locally, and how they've used those agents basically as a goon squad to come in and intimidate this restaurant.
And let me explain this here, as with family of the catering business, my brother. So to the people out there watching and listening, do understand, liquor licenses are hard to come by. Extremely hard. Also, if you got a business, frankly, a liquor license is extremely profitable. And so what has happened across the country, they've attacked restaurants by going after the liquor license because that has to be approved by the state. So a lot of places, you lose your liquor license, you lose your biggest revenue generator. And so folks just need to understand how they target folks by using bureaucracy against individuals like yourself.
And in addition to that, Mr. Martin, you know, this restaurant is not serving liquor to underage folks, right? They're trying to find other small issues to attack, to tie it to having the ability to take their liquor license, knowing that that's their biggest revenue generator. And if you're able to take this restaurant's liquor license, essentially they cannot continue to exist in this site for much longer. And Mr. Martin, you're spot on. That's how they're attacking Black restaurants here locally, by just tackling the issue around their liquor license and trying to take those licenses, making sure that they don't have the ability to have the largest revenue generator in their restaurant, knowing that will eventually shut them down.
Greg.
Thank you, Roland, and thank you, Brothers Walker and Collins. You know, listening to this reminds me of that line from Yasin Bey in his song, Mr. N-Word. He said, if white boys doing it, well, it's success. When I start doing it, well, it's suspect. And I'm wondering, I have a question. I have a question as it relates to Baton Rouge, politics of Baton Rouge, and where the restaurant is located. It's been a while since I've been down there visiting friends and down there at Southern University, Baton Rouge. So are you on the LSU side of town? Are they bothering the white boys that have their restaurants? And last I heard, I think an LSU graduate is Paulo Messina, who went to law school at LSU. Word is that he resigned about a week and a half ago from his position? I don't know. Could you answer, what are the politics of geography, where you're located, and are they messing with you and not messing with the white boys around there? Is it an LSU crowd that they're afraid of you going to get some of this business from?
So it's not necessarily an LSU crowd. Where the restaurant is actually situated, it's a little bit from LSU. It's on the southern side of Southern University, so it's not really a collegiate crowd. You're talking about Boil Roux crowd mostly being young black professionals, and that's what they're scared of.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about Messina? Did he resign? I read something, I think, on the 21st he left his position.
So we saw that they printed that he resigned, but every source that we talked to said that he was terminated. So we're unsure about what to believe.
All right, well, gentlemen, certainly keep us abreast of what's going on down there. And next time I'm going through Baton Rouge. So, what y'all got in the menu? Y'all got boudin, y'all got gumbo. What y'all got?
Yeah, we have boudin, we have gumbo. I'm glad you touched on those two subjects. We have red beans and rice. We have etouffee, fried catfish, grilled, fried. I mean, however you like it. I mean, actually, it's a Southern comfort food. And, I'm a scratch kitchen. So, again, we pride ourselves on quality in our foods that we make here in Baton Rouge.
All right.
I mean, hey, when you come down, Mr. Martin, I got you, man. Trust me.
Some of the best turkey wings you're ever going to taste, Mr. Martin.
You see the best turkey what?
The best turkey wing you ever going to taste.
All right, now y'all got to compete with Turkey Leg Hut in Houston. Now, I'm from H-Town, and my grandparents from Opelousas, Louisiana, so I'll taste test that gumbo for myself and see what it's like.
Food, then. You know good food.
Oh, no, I know good food with brothers, an executive chef, and a dad, an executive chef, so absolutely.